Look at the latest with NCAA March Madness. Let's bring in Patrick Rishe, director of the sports business program at Washington U, Wash U St. Louis. He's also founder and CEO of Sportsimpacts. Thanks for joining us. First thing I did, I wanted to make sure, I haven't watched my brackets that closely, but it could end up, we never know, but it could end up UConn, Purdue. They're not playing each other in this next round. And that would be, I'm not saying that's going to be it, and I'm not disparaging anyone else who's left, but that would be a battle for the ages, I think.
That surely would. And I think we all missed the parlay on both the NC State men and women getting into the Final Four, which they both have. That would have been a tremendous parlay. First time that the North Carolina State men have made the tournament, made the Final Four since 1983, the magical Jimmy Valvano run. Yep. So just amazing. And Alabama, it's their first trip. But, tonight is the big night, Joe. There could be records. There will be records set tonight in terms of ratings. You've got a dynamic doubleheader, the women's regional finals. You've got Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese. It's a rematch of last year's national championship. And then after that, you have Juju Watkins, perhaps the next Caitlin Clark with USC, going up against Gina Auriemma, Paige Buchers, and UConn.
Amazing. The other thing that I was flabbergasted was 11.5 points for Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, again, sizable. Alabama and NC State, certainly on the men's side, were not expected to be here.
I know.
So I
had Alabama.
wouldn't be surprised.
I had them in a fight. My brackets, I would be winning, I think, with TV News. Out of 2.8 million, I'm at 30. I was at 33,000 until yesterday. Now I'm at 37,000. That's like 1%, right, Pat?
Well, you're doing extremely well. I mean, that's great.
I tweeted that out. I mean, I feel like I get a participant. I mean, it's the only time you can say I'm in 33,000th place, and I'm really kicking butt, in 33,000.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, this has been an amazing tournament again. And how about that faux pas yesterday with the mismeasured three-point line? I think it was the NC State-Texas women's game where they literally, you could see it visually. I don't know what they were thinking. You could look at the court and see that the three-point line was different for that game. And the coaches basically conferenced and decided that they didn't want to delay and have to redo everything. It was going to take a couple hours to do that. So they just went ahead and played the game. One of the things on my mind this morning, too, is, these women's regionals, one's in Portland, one's in Albany. They've got two regionals at the same site. And we understand why they do that, because they want to right size, make sure that the facility is full. But boy, they really need to think about centralizing these regionals to draw better in person. Ratings are great on TV, but I think they need to think more about places like Indianapolis, Nashville, Omaha, Oklahoma City. They do that for the College World Series, the Women's College World Series. I think they need to think about doing that for some of these women's regionals. So
this is really, it is kind of a watershed year. What you just described, I knew SC was, I'm going to have to tell my wife, we may be watching tonight. I don't think we actually appreciated that. But the combination of, I guess, how many billions are going to be bet on both men and women, and then people like Caitlin Clark and what you just talked about. I mean, it's almost a watershed year for what's happening on both the men and women's side.
It is. And again, I think UConn, especially in this era, as we talked about the last time we were on, the fact that the UConn men actually have the chance to repeat as national champions in this world where the top men's players, it's a revolving door. Few of them are staying beyond 1 year, if maybe 2 years. For them to go ahead and be back there and have a shot to repeat, it's a tremendous story. But on the women's side, as we've talked about, it's been a watershed moment. And what I want to see is how this is going to impact the WNBA going forward. Well, we're not going to fool ourselves and expect that this is going to be, the WNBA is going to rival the NBA. But what we can expect is that as these women, as we mentioned, if they're playing 3 and 4 years in college, that helps them build their brand, which only helps the WNBA when they get there. Now they have a better chance of having more traction. Well,
and you can't really say it's not a business story when, we're talking about this crazy streaming service with everybody trying to pool their resources because streaming is so hard to make money on. So trying to figure out, and March Madness might be the most valuable asset in all of sports, maybe.
Well, it's up there, Joe. I mean, obviously, the NCAA, they report their revenues as somewhere around the 1.3, 1.4 billion range, and NCAA March Madness is about 90% of that. So it's certainly in college sports realm, even though college football reigns supreme in terms of the college football playoffs and the revenue that generates. That's a separate entity outside of the NCAA. For the NCAA's revenue, most of their revenue is generated from championships, and 90% of that is from March Madness.
But if suddenly women's Final Four and then the WNBA, that's probably going to double in value in not too long a time for people that need to try to acquire the rights for that.
Well, I think you're seeing more private equity investors in all of sports and in particular in women's sports. So I have no doubt that, again, as these names, as the college basketball world gets bigger for the women, it's only going to help the WNBA, and I think more private equity investors will come into the WNBA.
All right, so there's been, would you say this year in men's there's been more dark horses or I don't know if it's every year is like this. I mean, last year we had a crazy Final Four, remember? I mean, we had what?
Yeah, San Diego State and Florida Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic. But North Carolina State, that's a total shocker. Alabama, I don't think so. If I had them, that's not a shocker.
I mean, this year has been more chalk with the exception primarily of North Carolina State, but they're still coming from a premier conference. And so it's not the same as San Diego State or Florida Atlantic. But what's crazy is I was looking this stat up this morning. There has not been, and there won't be this year, a men's champion west of Texas since 1997.
Yeah. And when did Florida repeat? That was back in the late 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was around the 90s. So it's been a long time. And again, UConn's on the precipice. They're favored. They're destroying everyone. I don't know if they would destroy Purdue, but I would favor them over Purdue.
That guy, when he stands underneath the basket, Zach Edey, it's like everybody's like, I just don't know how you get over him. Really, he's got to turn his back for a second for you to get in there.
Well, this has been a redemption year for them. Obviously, the last couple of years, they've been knocked out by some of these lower seeds. So someone's been able to stop them in the past.
That whole time.
You think? Okay, so Connecticut, Purdue. You telling me they're going to be there's no way they're double-digit favorites over Purdue. No way.
I don't think that they'll be double-digit favorites over Purdue. I'm gonna put my amateur bookmaking here on the line. I'm gonna say they probably would be 6-point favorites over Purdue.
Look, they've got a great three-point shooter in Cam Spencer.
Yeah,
and
they do.
You could shoot right over Edie's head.
Right, from outside, yeah. But if he misses, Edie gets a rebound.
Okay, so it depends
Somewhere
on if Cam
Jim
Spencer's
Calhoun is smiling. We know that. Somewhere Jim Calhoun is smiling, seeing what UConn is doing. The old UConn coach that won multiple championships. It's great to see what Mr. Hurley's doing.
They got a great
reviving
coach, too.
this franchise.
Yeah.